This is Chapter 98 of The Flower of Freedom by Deborah J. Reeves. All rights to both the book and to the presentation are reserved. We've been hoping you'd come. We really have. Now please, take your seat. As always, the chair is too small to hold all your burdens. They have to stay outside the door. As soon as you're ready, we'll begin. Okay, Chapter 98, Summertime Surprises. Summer rolled around, and Marie graduated third in her class. Aki suspected that she might have been first, but the school system might have found it unseemly for a girl who had not been groomed in their system to graduate top of her class. So another student took the honors. Marie did not mind. She was happy for everyone, and she was thrilled that her next classes would be at PSL for her upward climb to a doctorate in medicine. A week after classes concluded, the driver and Aki took Marie and her luggage to the airport for her summer in Canada. She arrived in Montreal on a Saturday morning, and her father and Bertie picked her up. After a round of hugs, she wanted to know where her mother was. "Oh, she's at Dr. D's house," said Bertie, getting ready for the surprise. "Hardly much of a surprise if you say it's a surprise, Bertie," Oscar grumbled. "Trust me, Papa, it will be a surprise," Bertie responded, and Marie was curious then. They drove from the airport, and they turned into the subdivision that they had always called Dr. D's subdivision. Jean-Claude and his family lived 2 blocks over, but because Dr. D and Michelle had moved there first, it would always be Dr. D's to them. As they rolled up the street, approaching the curve just before the Donovan household, they drove past a house with a for sale sign on the lawn. Marie commented, "I've always thought that was the prettiest house I ever saw. I love the yellow stucco and the arched windows. I love the picket fence and the big tree in the big yard. I think it's the sweetest house in the world." Oscar looked at his daughter and he said, "Your mother thinks that too," just as he turned around the curve and the Donovan's house came into view. There were balloons in the front yard and a big sign that said, "Congratulations, Marie." Marie grinned. So what if Bertie had warned her of the surprise? It just gave her extra time to be prepared for how she would respond. She scanned the crowd of people. All those who were normally there at Christmas dinner were there. The Donovan kids ran and hugged her as she emerged from the car. Fan was there, and she released her 3 children for hugs. But Marie craned her neck to see her mother, and then she found her smiling eyes from the back of the crowd. As though the Red Sea parted, the crowd opened to allow Colette to run forward to Marie. Marie stood stock still and gaped. "Mama?" she said. As Colette swept Marie into her arms, she had to bend a little forward, and she reached one arm protectively around a little baby bump. "Mama?" Marie repeated. "Yes," said Colette with a smile of joy, and Oscar ran to put his arms around them both, and Bertie came forward to wrap all of them in his long arms. His cast and splint had been off for months. He was fully repaired. He said, "I told you it would be a surprise." "It's a surprise to all of us. Remember when Bertie was in Zurich? I had a procedure because Dr. D thought he had an idea of why I was never able to conceive. He removed some scar tissue, and now the babies are due in December, just before Christmas." "Babies," stammered Marie. "Babies, twins," crowed Oscar. "Please, say something, Marie. You aren't upset, are you?" "Upset? Papa, you've never had a more deluded thought. I'm over the moon with joy." "Mama, this is so exciting. How are you feeling?" Christmas babies, as though Bertie has said, though. It's a bit of surprise. How many people start university with a mother who's pregnant with twins? We do, Bertie said. That makes two. Dr. D came up just then with an arm around Michelle, and he said, You do. Trust me, I'm a doctor, he said, enjoying his own joke. Marie turned to him, and after she hugged him, she asked, Are you responsible for this? No, Marie, I promise you that was entirely Oscar's accomplishment. Bertie laughed uproariously, and then Michelle pointed at Fan, who was also pregnant, but much further along. Dr. D said, I'm the only one who appears to have learned my lessons about where babies come from. Michelle elbowed her husband in the ribs. She rushed forward and hugged Marie, welcoming her home and luring her into the house with promises of good things to eat. The lazy day proceeded through a barbecue for lunch and another barbecue for dinner. The large yard held everyone. The children played around them, running and playing tag, always wanting Bertie to come and play. People sat in the lawn chairs and the shadows lengthened. Marie was hovering around her mother, solicitously bringing her beverages and food and ogling her belly. Marie, said Colette, this'll never work. I'm pregnant, not ill. I'm happy as can be, and I'm healthy as a horse. It's only the beginning of July, and I'm not even halfway through the process. I have no more morning sickness, and I hardly had any to be given with. I feel so alive and so happy. Green is greener, so the sun is brighter. I love your papa more than I ever have, and I'm happy. So you must stop looking at me as though I'm about to break. I couldn't stand it when Bertie and Oscar did it, so I'm out of patience with it. Here, come with me. I have something to show you. And Colette leveraged herself out of her lawn chair, and she called for Oscar and Bertie to follow. That's the end of this chapter. It's a summertime of surprises. Next chapter that we hope you will share with us is chapter 99, Home Sweet Home. Please come back. It's never the same without you,